and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. Happy October! 1st of October, normally do my favourites video on the 1st of each month. Forgot to do one for August. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, on the 1st of September there were no August favourites. So these are a sort of amalgamation of things that I've enjoyed both this month and last, which is lovely. But also, just a reminder, October means Outfits October. So over on my Instagram, if you don't follow me over there, please go on over. Lauren and the Books, that's what I am. I'll link it down below. I am doing a challenge, which I did last year, called Outfits October, whereby every month... Oh, David! What? You wouldn't chuck me Outfits October jar, would you? Just so I can have a nice prompt. Oh dear, Christ.
Where is it?
It's on the white shelves by the thing. Little sulky boy, isn't he? Had me roots done yesterday. And you know, like when you first have your hair cut and you just feel like it wears you for a bit. I mean, it's not that much different to what I normally do. You can vote. David hasn't got a top on, so I don't think he's going to be coming. Come on, I just want to see your little hand come in. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, but I got hair attached to it. Well...
Your hair.
This month, October, I took part in a challenge last year, which I invented of my own brain, I believe, whereby I put 31 outfit prompts in a jar, and then every day I pull out a prompt from the jar and wear that outfit. Then I document it all on Instagram. There's a photo on the grid every day of the outfits, and I pick out the prompt the night before on Instagram stories. And yeah, it's just a way of like shopping from my wardrobe, wearing 31 different outfits in the month, not repeating any outfits, and wearing stuff that I've already got, stuff that I bought. I buy like majority of my clothes secondhand. And just a sort of way to show ways you can wear different things. Today's prompt, monochrome. It's this is black and white. I mean, you don't need to more details, but today's prompt is monochrome. So yeah, so head on over to there if that's something you feel like you'll want to keep up to date with. And let's talk about my favourite things from September and August, but mainly September. The first thing is marshmallows. So I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for, I think it's gonna be 6 years in January. Well, 5 years. I was pescatarian for the first year as a sort of like transitional period. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be five years vegetarian in January, and like 6 years haven't eaten meat in January. And quite often when you're a vegetarian, I'm sure people who are vegetarians get this all the time, people say, oh, is there anything that you really, really miss? And quite honestly, no, in terms of meat, because I never really ate that much meat anyway. Sometimes around Christmas I think I'd quite like a bit of smoked salmon, because I like the texture of that, and I like strong tasting stuff. What are you looking at? Oh, David's sorting out his clothes. He's looking at the massive job ahead of him. But one thing that I did realise I was missing was marshmallows, because marshmallows have gelatine in. However, Plant Kitchen at Marks and Spencer's has started a range of marshmallows, and I've tried another range which is sold in Sainsbury's, and they're just not as nice. These are so lovely. They're vanilla flavoured marshmallows. I don't know what they're using instead of gelatine. It's got, okay, glucose, fructose syrup, sugar, water, gelling agent, rice protein, and the pink ones are coloured with red beetroot. They are they're so vanilla-y and so yummy. I almost think, God, they're so nice. Because maybe I haven't had marshmallows in such a long time, these are better than marshmallows. They're just amazing. So yeah, if you're a vegetarian and you're missing marshmallows like I was, get yourself down to Marks and Spencer's, to the Plant Kitchen range. Just turn the lights on, because I feel like these autumn evenings are drawing in, aren't they? Next up is a diary that I've bought myself from Papier. I mean, if you've got Instagram or any sort of like been on the internet once, you would have had Papier forced down your throat in terms of targeted, well, if you're anything like me, maybe, anyone that looks at stationery or books, Papier mid-year diaries were coming out, and you could get, I think it was like £8 off or something. Love a mid-year diary, love any diary, but love a mid-year diary. And you can get these personalised. So look, it says Lauren and the Books mid-year diary, and it's got this sort of flower pattern with lots of naked ladies on there. So very much enjoying this. And yeah, I've continued. So before I had a diary which was coming to the end of the year, wasn't over, but I just wanted a new one. I like hardback, because I like being able to like write in a diary and lean on that very diary, rather than the previous floppy diary I had. I've been using this because it's got, what I like about it is it's got
a month planner so I can plan my videos. It's also got, this is what I use less because I've actually got a diary on my phone. So it's got a like page per week diary, but also it's got this sort of like planning section which I find very useful. So this is October, obviously there's nothing in there, with monthly goals, to-do list, wish list, important dates and a list. So I've been keeping a list of all the films and all the books that I read. So this is my September. And there I've just been making notes of all the books and things like that, so that's what I'm going to go forward and do it. But yeah, it's very helpful, very beautiful, and very much enjoyable. And actually I used the monthly goals section to write down my favourites. So the next thing, let's talk about 2 telly shows that I've been enjoying. So David and I, we've been getting really into Call the Midwife. Call the Midwife is on its like 9th season. I feel like I've seen like the odd episode, like, or the end of an episode. My mum was very fond of it, and as I said, it's been going on for like 9 seasons. Just not quite there. There we go. It's been going on for 9 seasons, and it's set in the late 50s, although I believe that the more recent series are in the early 60s, and follows a host of midwives in the East End of London, and them sort of like delivering babies and being in the community. This is my cat Minnie. She never comes in videos anymore. Hello, pretty girl. Where are you going? Where are you going? Bye.
Naughty.
She's so pretty. Love you. Yeah, and really like the characters. I think it's got really like strong female characters in it. The storylines are always very like important issues of the day that are dealt with sort of like in a very, what's the word I'm trying to grasp? In a very sensitive way. But yeah, it's really, really great, and it's really cozy, and it's really heartwarming, but also has like a level of like, see, it's not just all like, oh look, there's all these lovely babies being delivered every day. There's like really serious issues, like a lot of the people, so they also do like community nursing rounds, and there's a lot of people who have been in the workhouses, who and are of PTSD from that, or who have got PTSD from the war. They're sort of like new medicine in terms of like x-ray machines, diabetes, like it's just very, very good. I really, really like it, and I'm looking forward to delving into it. I watched a couple of episodes, and David was like, David said he didn't want to watch it, and then David came in towards the end of an episode and like sat and watched the rest of it. He was like, I actually would quite like this. So then he caught up on the other episodes, and now we watch it together, which is lovely. It's just really, really nice. We were hoping to be up to date because there's a Christmas special this year. We were hoping to be up to date by Christmas, but there's like, we're on series 2. I think we're at the end of series 2 actually, so we've only got 7 series. Maybe we'll do it, who knows. So yeah, and then the other one, well, I'm sure is a favourite for anybody who's watching it this year. Great British Bake Off's back, hurrah! Had the second episode earlier this week. Great British Bake Off, for those who don't know, is a baking competition where they have a whole host of contestants who do, so like they'll have like cake week, bread week, pie week, biscuit week, bread and pie. I like savoury weeks. They're my favourite weeks. Next week's bread week as well. And this year, because of coronavirus and things not being able to be filmed in the normal way, they all, like, in order to make it as normal and as like what it is like to, like what it normally looks like, the series, they all isolated with each other for 7 weeks over the summer and filmed this whole thing, which is just lovely. Actually, when it came back on telly, I just had a little cry because I was like, I can't believe that it looks like, I wasn't expecting it to look like that. I was expecting it to be a very, I knew they'd filmed it, but I wasn't expecting it to be, to look like it normally does. And I was expecting it to be sort of like social distance. They've got a new host and I feel like he fits in really well. And yeah, it was just lovely. It's just a lovely treat to have back on. Like, there's lots of like cozy telly happening now. And I was delighted to have it on. But also, speaking of coziness, another one of my favourites is David and I went away for 2 nights for his birthday. We went and stayed in a shepherd's hut near Ashford in Kent, which is the county we live in. We didn't go too far. Who knows? Who knew what if we were even going to be able to go? But yeah, we went away for 2 nights, which was lovely, because ordinarily when we do sort of like little trips away for birthdays and stuff, we normally do 1 night, which whilst is still lovely, quite often like you can't check into a certain time and then you've got to be checked out the next day. So it's really nice to have like a whole day. The shepherd's hut was beautiful. It's the biggest shepherd's. We've stayed in a few shepherd's huts over the years. This was the biggest one I've ever stayed in. It was lovely, cozy, telly at the end of the bed. David and I don't have a telly in our bedroom, and actually actually haven't ever had a telly in our bedroom the whole time we've lived together. I only ever had a telly in my bedroom when I was in sixth form, I think. I haven't definitely had one in my bedroom since university. David has always had a telly in his bedroom, so when like we moved in together I was like, no telly in the bedroom. But it is an absolute treat. So when we go somewhere and there's a telly like near the bed, it's a real treat. So we were just like in bed watching Call the Midwife, watched Enola Holmes, You've Got Mail, just watched like cosy stuff, which was lovely. Cooked, they've got like a little kitchen in there, pasta one night, pizza another night, played a few games, one of which I'm about to talk about. And just had a delightful time. It was for David's little birthday treat. It was really, really nice. Really nice change of scenery for him. Well, for me as well. I mean, I've only like, haven't really been elsewhere. David really hasn't been anywhere since he got furloughed. So very nice treat for him. But yeah, lovely. And then went to Rye for the day, did a bit of walking. The grounds it was on, the owners had like chickens. We didn't see, it was like a contactless like check-in as well. They'd left the key in the door. They'd cleaned it 24 hours before and then left it. So we didn't have to see anyone. So it was just like just a lovely few days. Really had a great time. Next up though, oh, and while I was there, so I mean I had a great time anyway, but whilst I was there I was reading what I imagine to be my favourite book of the year so far, and that is The Bass Rock by Evie Wilde. This is just a perfect book for me. I really loved it. It is set over 3 timelines following 3 different women, all living in a certain area of Scotland. You follow a timeline set in the 1700s where you're following Sarah, who has been like is accused of being a witch, or there's like witchiness going on around her. Then you're following Ruth, and that's like post-war, and then you're following so she's got a new marriage and 2 young boys who aren't her own, and then in present day you're following Viv, who has been sent to the home to sent to Ruth's house, who is now dead, to catalogue her belongings in this now empty house. Now it's so gothic-y, and so there's so many links between the storylines, and oh my god, it's just beautiful, beautifully written, beautiful characters, beautiful amount of like, it's not like action in all the pages, but there's just so much to keep you like so interested. And actually this was my Patreon book club book this month, and we had the best conversation, the best chat we'd had ever. There was so many stuff that like I hadn't realised that somebody else had picked up on, or something I picked up on that other people hadn't, and just sharing all our thoughts. It was like a beautiful cooking pot of ideas about a book that we all really enjoyed. There was a few there that didn't like love it as much as others, but like majority, it was a lot of 4 and 5 star reviews. And yeah, because it was just so, it's very atmospheric, and because I was reading it in like a shepherd's hut with like the wind and the rain like on the roof, and yeah, it was just it's just a perfect book at the perfect time. Really loved it. One of my favourite books of the year. Thought it was absolutely brilliant. And then one more thing before, which sort of links in a bit with Outfits October, I guess, is that I'm just so happy to be wearing like autumnal clothes, and clothes with long sleeves and jumpers and boots, and like we've got our, at the moment we've got all our clothes back from the storage, and I've been slowly working, actually I've got to do something about that. I've been slowly like sorting it all out, and actually earlier this week I did an Instagram live where I sorted out my clothes, and like it was just nice to like chat to people as I was doing it and talking about clothes and things. And I'm doing that again tonight, so I better get a wiggle on actually, because I think I normally do that about 6 o'clock, so I need to get this edited and up before 6 o'clock hopefully. But yeah, so wearing autumnal and wintry clothes has also been lovely. But lastly, that game that I mentioned, David and I have been very much enjoying this game called Jaipur, which is a 2-person card and sort of like chip game where you trade in different like materials that you can buy, and if you trade early you get better prices for them, but also if you trade a certain amount, you get like, if you can trade like 5 leathers for instance, you get a 5 bonus point for trading 5. We made the mistake of buying the Italian version. I'm sure there was an Italian flag on it somewhere. There's not, but I bought the Italian version by accident, but luckily Jen has played this. This is where I got the recommendation from, and she was able to talk me through it, and also there was very good like tutorials on YouTube. But yeah, really great. The only thing I do, like, I love it, and like it's really nice to have a like really good 2-player game that Dave and I are quite invested in. But yeah, it is just a 2-player game, so you can only play it with 2, but really think it's great, and would definitely recommend. And then the last thing, and I almost forgot this, I've just literally just wrapped up the video and I've had to re-film it, is one of my favourite things that a few people, it's also your favourite things because quite a few people have mentioned it, and it's this blanket. I bought this blanket in August from, oh God, I'm sitting on it, so it's quite difficult. I bought this blanket in August from TK Maxx. It's got bananas on it. One side is yellow with pink bananas, or like purpley, and then the other side is the purple with the yellow bananas. It's a very, very soft, lovely blanket. It was £20 in TK Maxx. I've been very disappointed in TK. I haven't obviously done much shopping, who has? But when the times that I've been to TK Maxx, they haven't really had much stuff. That's just gonna have to stay there, I'll put it up. But that was one of the things that I bought when I went to Maidstone TK Maxx, and I love, like, bright colours are the thing that happens in this house. Everything's bright coloured, so I thought it was really, really lovely. And it's really, really nice and soft to get snuggled under. So that actually is it. Those are some of my favourite things from the month of September, with a few things from the month of August in there. What are your favourite things of this month recently? And I'll see you all again soon for another booktube video. Goodbye!